felt different from the others. I'm running away now. Fears are fading, won't stop bleeding. 'Cause I'm sick of staying up instead of going down. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a freak like me.
Ladies and gentlemen, shit's about to hit the fan.
You're listening to the Max Wrestling Podcast. It's time to take it to the max!
Hey yo, it's Thursday and you know what that means. It's Max Wrestling episode 376. This is your captain speaking. We're flying solo for the opening of this show as we wait for Moses because he's on tour in Los Angeles for Dinamante, so he will be with us momentarily. But we're hot on the heels of Double or Nothing and Trivia Takeover, lucky number 7, and what a damn week last week, regardless of how I feel personally. Congratulations go out to Travis Walker Anderson as he took both the Television Championship and finally the Knowledge Championships home to the House of Ashes last week. But of course he didn't want to take on Jester Justice, so I am still your world champion. We also saw the return of the Demoness after almost a year, and wow, Justin Roberts was right, shit hit the fan. And that brings us to the next point. CM Punk, world champion for the first time in 9 fucking years. It was a crazy moment. We'll get into Double or Nothing when Moses arrives. So while we wait for Moses, coming up this week, it's that time of year for Heck in a Cell predictions, plus everything that went down at Double or Nothing and beyond. But first, like I said, while we wait for Moses, let's take you down memory lane. It's This Week in Wrestling History. On May 27th, 1988, the late great Owen Hart won the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, defeating Hiroshi Hashi at New Japan Champion Series Day 5. Very few people, I think, know about Owen Hart's Japan days. But yeah, he's a former Junior Heavyweight Champion. On May 28th, 1996, In Your House, Beware of Dog 2. I'm completely at a loss as to the schedule of In Your Houses. I don't know if Moses has covered this one. I'm pretty sure he's done the first Beware of Dog, but on Retro Rewind. But at Beware of Dog 2, the British Bulldog and Shawn Michaels fought to a draw for the WWE World Title. That was the opening match. Then we had Savio Vega defeat Steve Austin in a strap match. Vader defeated Yokozuna, and main event, Goldust defeated The Undertaker in a casket match to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Very strange card, very strange booking. This was WWE in 96. I have no words. May 29th, 2000, Kevin Nash gave the WCW World Championship to Ric Flair on Nitro. Flair then lost the title the same night to Jeff Jarrett, which I believe was Jarrett's third win. I'm not too sure. I'll have to double check on that one. But again, this was WCW in 2000, and that shit was weird too. May 29th, 2014, the years of Charlotte oversaturation began as she defeated Natalya in a tournament final to become the NXT Women's Champion at the first NXT TakeOver. This, of course, was after Paige was forced to relinquish the championship after she got called up to the main roster as NXT Women's Champion, and she also won a Divas title, so they made her drop the NXT title, and that was it. We had a tournament which crowned Charlotte the new NXT Women's Champion. May 31st, 1998, at Over the Edge, Stone Cold Steve Austin defeated Dude Love to retain the WWE Championship despite Vince McMahon being the special referee, who also took an infamous chair shot to the head by Dude Love when Stone Cold ducked. And yeah, classic 90s Attitude Era moment. Stone Cold then dragged Vince back into the ring, hit the stunner on Dude Love, and counted his own pin with Vince's arm. June 1st, 2008, at One Night Stand, Edge defeated The Undertaker in a TLC match to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Per the stipulation, Taker had to leave WWE. But of course, he returned at SummerSlam, attacking CM Punk, who also just won the World Heavyweight title in a TLC match, defeating Jeff Hardy. June 1st, 2019, at TakeOver 25, Adam Cole, baby, defeated Johnny Gargano for the NXT Championship. He went on to hold the title for 403 days, setting a new record. WWE will recognize it as like 396, I think, because of tape delay, but he's still the longest reigning NXT champion at that time. Then we come to Today in History. First of all, in 2004, Today in History, Jeff Jarrett won his third NWA World Championship, defeating AJ Styles, Chris Harris, and Raven in a King of the Mountain match. Fucking love King of the Mountain matches. I'm very sorry for this next one, people. Also, Today in History, in 2014, with one steel chair, Seth Rollins shocked the entire wrestling world by destroying the Shield and joining Triple H and Randy Orton. A moment very, very many Shield fans still haven't forgiven him for. But it was a great heel turn, completely unexpected, because they had just defeated Evolution the night before at Payback, so it completely came out of nowhere. But classic Raw moment. So that's all the history and birthdays this week. Natalia turned 40. Eric Bischoff turned 67. Seth Rollins turned 36. Jeremy Borash turned 46. Headbanger Mosh turned 51. Ridge Holland turned 34. Josh Alexander is 35. Hornswoggle turned 36. The formerly Nia Jax turned 38. The Brian Kendrick turned 43. Steve Corino turned 49. Pete Gas turned 52. There's a lot of birthdays this week. WCW icon Vampiro was defeated. He didn't defeat anybody. He defeated his birthday cake. Vampiro turned 55. The legendary Jake the Snake Roberts turned 67. Gable Stevenson turned 22. Cody Hall turned 31. Montez Ford turned 32. Alicia Atout, who has been interviewed as part of Max Wrestling, turned 27. She's now hitting it in the ring, particularly MLW. Ross Von Erich turned 34. James Storm, Cowboy, turned 45. And happy birthday today to NXT's JC Jane is 26. Grado, It's Your Cell, is 34 today. Velvet Sky, who also did a little plug for Max Wrestling at Pro Mania, thank you very much, turned 41 today. AJ Styles is 45 today, and WWE Hall of Famer Lex Luger is 64 today. And that's this week in wrestling history. Now, as we still wait for Moses, let's get to the next section of the show, because you know what? Some people are allowed to use the internet and they shouldn't be. This is Shit Marks Say.
Can you believe the shit these marks say?
And just in time for Shit Marks Say, El Jefe Moses Marquez has joined us for episode 376 on tour, on location.
On location. Currently in Linwood, California. Went to the AEW Dynamite show last night here at the LA Forum. Gotta tell you, now granted, I'm going to be biased. We were the hottest goddamn crowd that I've ever heard in an AEW show. Goddamn. They were so hot, they didn't know if they wanted to boo or cheer MJF. That was the greatest part.
Oh, man, we'll get to that promo, but jeez.
Fuck yeah, we will.
All right, so before we get into the shit that social media marks have been saying, on TikTok, dude told the AEW guy to stay away.
Oh yeah, don't do that. Don't ever. You can't tell me to stay away in any situation that I'm familiar with when it comes to AEW, Chris Benoit, or anything in between.
So what was his beef? He just didn't like CM
So,
Punk winning the title.
so if you're referring to the one I believe so is uh my man Willie Finesse. He does a lot of stuff with figures and stuff, but he's a really good content creator. And what he was getting at is he doesn't understand why Punk still has all this animosity towards the E. Like 10 years later, you're still bringing up the E. You're still mad at the E for what they did. And it was like, oh, the AEW guys are going to get mad at me because I'm talking about the dude. The reality is most of us are sick and tired of hearing bitch about WWE too. It's been 10 years. I understand the shady medical almost killed him and he was mentally fucked because of that company and this and that. Well, I hate to break it to you, not to be that guy. We've known what he could have did. He could have just left, and he did. So he played his own card on that one. Now, I'm with that notion of it's been 10 years. You've said your piece. You guys literally every time I turn around, you're fucking shitting on the E in a promo, which I don't hate it. But I mean, if that's what it's gonna be, then stop also doing it in the press conferences. Stop doing it in the meetings. Stop doing it in the background. If you want to put on the facade and do it in the show, it makes sense. But if you're gonna drag it out to backstage bullshit that honestly doesn't, you're just literally you're chewing on air, bro. You're not. There's no substance. We've heard it before. We're over it now. Can we get on with our lives?
Fair point.
That's how I see it. But that's the thing, though. There's a lot of people out there that still love Punk, and there's still out there that still hate him. So, I mean, I'm with you. Trust me. If they had a 2X in a Punk shirt, that's what I was getting. They didn't have anything 2X. I got there late. I did also hit the merch stand like after the show, so that's the only only person to blame is this guy. That's how it goes.
I mean, I get the feeling that the press keep asking him about WWE, but at the same time, he could refuse to answer it.
TK refused to answer about MJF.
Oh man, what a work.
As
Also on TikTok.
as my man Teddy says, as he was sitting next to me at the AEW show, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah,
And
they got us.
they had dudes we had guys in the background that were swearing to God, he's gone. He's going to the E. He's out of here. Look at him. He's E bound, brother. And I'm like, y'all, man, that bait must taste good. I tell you what, suckered in.
Jay Solo says Bucks suck.
Ah, yes. But yet they're paying for their show. Yet they watch Double or Nothing. And I'm going to say this, and I don't give a fuck about heat or anything anymore. This was the first time I've seen the Bucks live. Stop. Stop hating them. Stop it. Bro, they were in a 10-man tag, and for 3 minutes, all they needed was 3 minutes. And in that 3 minutes, they made you say my fucking 80-something dollar ticket was worth it. Just them. Like, stop hating on the Bucks, dude. These guys are fucking legit. Stop it.
They're a generational tag team.
They are a generational tag team.
And I've been saying that since their fucking TNA days.
I'm sure you have. You know what I mean? That's the thing. There's been people singing their praises since was Generation Me days.
Yes, Gen Me, the Hardy Boys 2.0.
There you go.
All right then. On Twitter. First up, we have Phil Knows Fuck All.
It sounds like my dude Jay knows wrestling on TikTok. Every time I turn, but now I will admit he does have what they call a satire account. Everything he does is he's basically a troll. But it's like, well, then don't do this. Then don't do it. I don't know, but that's just me.
Phil says after the House of Black Death Triangle match at Double or Nothing, this has to be the worst pay-per-view match I've seen in a long time. I can't believe I wasted my time watching this crap. Here's the best bit. This why Control Your Narrative, Impact, and WWE are way better. They at least have great pay-per-view matches. First of all, when the fuck did Control Your Narrative have pay-per-views?
I was just gonna say the same shit. I was like, when I gotta put this thing down. I was like, when all of a sudden did these guys get something worth fucking talking about? All of a sudden, like, you want to talk Impact? Hey, brother, more power to you. You know, I'll jump on that bandwagon with you. I've been saying more people need to start watching Impact. I've been the guy sleeping on them. So if I'm sleeping on them, that's how you know you need to go check it out.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing. Like, but control your narrative. CYN. What? People actually watch that shit? And I'm not saying it like disrespectfully, but I am saying it very disrespectfully.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know if people get paid to watch that shit.
I would hope that they do, and if not, you're losing out on bread.
And also, it wasn't a bad 6-man. It was actually a pretty good 6-man, and they finally had the payoff with Julia,
Which was honestly the whole point of it all, in my opinion. Like, that was
Yeah.
the whole point of it. Either you pay it off with her, or Alistair literally becomes that guy that we don't know what to do anymore. And we can't have that. He's too good. The whole spring of the mist thing, changing people, like, that's something he can keep as a niche, but that's got to also be the problem. He's got to be able to do it correctly. And right now, that one instance with Julia Hart's the only good one. And honestly, we thought it was a flop a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, well, I think maybe they shouldn't have even teased it a couple of weeks ago. Just leave it until Double or Nothing, because when they teased it, it was so heavily criticized.
Oh,
It
yeah.
felt like they had to do it at Double or Nothing, whereas it may have been the plan all along to do it at Double or Nothing. But it came
Yeah, that
across as,
was,
oh, we fucked it up a couple of weeks ago. Let's pull the trigger now.
let's pull the trigger now all of a sudden because we should have did it then, but you're not tripping, right? No, we're kind of tripping. Kind of tripping.
So Phil tweeted this after the 5th match of the night. And remember that, people, because that's very important. The 5th match of the night. This was also from Phil after the 2nd match of the night. Why squash your biggest star, MJF? I will no longer continue watching this pay-per-view. I'm I'm already disappointed one match in. This is why Impact is better. So you did continue watching the pay-per-view for at least 3 matches.
Yeah, at least 3 matches. But okay, so I will. I can attest that the squash to me was a bit off-putting. But then again,
You
how
kind of saw
else
it
were
coming
you?
now.
Yeah, how else were you gonna go? What other direction was there?
They built Wardlow like a monster. It couldn't go any other way.
And we were starting that Wardlow chant was starting during the break. I tell you what, when we saw JD Drake get in the ring, we were like, everybody started doing the Wardlow, and they brought his kick-ass music back.
Yeah.
It's a fucking dub, man.
I'm kind of going to miss him being escorted to the ring in handcuffs by a bunch of security guys, though.
Oh yeah. But we'll
Um,
see how it goes. You know, smart Mark over here and his bullshit. Goddamn, gonna sue you and all this motherfuckers.
yeah, now he's flying solo. We will see how much further his star rises, but I'm pretty optimistic for it.
Me both.
Finally, we have Stu, short for stupid. Um, just a friendly reminder that even though the build-up wouldn't have told you, but AEW Double or Nothing pay-per-view is on tomorrow. Oh, and also, if you want to attend the event, there are loads of tickets still available. They literally had an attendance of over 14,000 and made 1.2 million in ticket sales.
They had to expand seating.
Right.
That's what people don't get, and this is the thing that fucking kills me. They love to make this stupid assessment that, oh well, the tickets didn't sell out because there was some empty seats. Motherfucker, those were additional seats. Those are additional seats. That was an extra section they opened up because they sold so many goddamn seats. LA Forum was sold out last night, and you could see maybe a couple of handfuls of empty seats.
Wow.
But then again, we had guys like Emir, who was supposed to go to the show, who had caught COVID, so he didn't go. You know, so of course we were going to have situations like that where people weren't going to be able to show up. But it was very far and in between. It was. They said we sold 15,000 out, and I believe the forum holds 14 plus.
Yeah, that
I
place
mean,
looked
like
packed.
it was. We were in that motherfucking.
And also, just the build-up wouldn't have told you that Double or Nothing was on. Like, everybody was talking about Hangman and Punk. Everybody was talking about MJF and Wardlow. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, the MJF and Wardlow was the one I was hearing the most about, especially from the casuals. And like most of them love Punk and they like the idea of Punk, but getting behind Wardlow and what's MJF doing, and then all the story behind MJF and the possible walking out and all this other stuff, like there was a lot going on. So to hear that fucking people weren't watching Double or Nothing is fucking bullshit, ludicrous nonsense.
Yeah,
So,
but this is why they're marks, and that's the shit they say. But let's go straight into that because top story has to be MJF. If I don't know how much of it is real and how much of it is worked, but the hype, all the stories about him not being at Double or Nothing, booking a flight home, and he was in the opening match and then he went straight home after. If all of that was built just for this storyline, then it was fucking genius.
facts.
But depending on how much of it was real, um, it doesn't matter. It's so fucking good. And last night's promo, of course, everybody's gonna call it a pipe bomb because it was explosive.
And that's the tag I've been seeing all night long. Pipe bomb,
Yeah,
pipe bomb, pipe bomb.
and the footnote to this, the thing that really connects it and makes it spicy, people call it a pipe bomb. It was explosive. What we didn't see on TV, which happened at the show, was Punk came out after the promo and kind of wanted to talk to him, but MJF left through the crowd.
MJF with the whole "I want you to fire me, you fucking mark."
Yeah, they literally let him drop an F-bomb on live
Nope.
TV.
I was gonna say, I was like, and TBS let it play. No, again, and how many times we have talked about TBS being the more family of
Yeah,
the Turner networks?
it was pretty early in the show too, so it wasn't like it was late night.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're talking prime time, Jack. Prime time. So I mean, yeah, that was huge. We saw Punk come out, and we were like, "What's going to happen? Like, is this going to immediately build towards the next feud?" And my guess is going to be yes. Um, but yeah, we don't know. A lot, like you said, a lot of people think it's a work. I'm at the point now where if it was a work, he would be doing what Sasha and Naomi did. I mean, if it wasn't a work, if it was a shoot,
Yeah,
he would have took his ball, he would have went home.
yeah, they wouldn't have let him cut that promo if it was
No,
legit.
no. If he was not trying to literally just reel you in further, you can't drop an F bomb on TBS. But what if this works? All right, you go drop you an F bomb on TBS. And sure enough, like I said, the fucking wrestling world is buzzing. It is absolutely
Yeah,
buzzing. I ended up going to bed late. This goddamn hotel life kills me. I used to work I'm going to ramble off on a quick story. I used to work for a company that would travel up and down Southern California and other parts of different states, and we would inventory Walmarts. And well, of course, you'd have to stay in hotels. I never got comfortable sleeping in hotels. I would get minimal 3 hours of sleep just because I can't. But I would wake up wide awake, like, oh, yeah. I can't sleep in these goddamn things. But anyway,
man, the lawyer Chad Malcolm listened to this now with a big smile on his face because he'd been living in a hotel for like a couple of months.
yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, I know he's like, yeah, he's living in one right now, so it's like, damn, I can only fucking imagine, dude. But no, like that was but to get back to the MJF thing, I don't want to say I'm on the Cody level where I'm like, oh, it's once everything is coming out, it's true.
Mm.
You're not going to drop an F bomb on TBS without making this a bigger storyline. He's obviously the young prodigy, the this, the that. I'm saying he's not going nowhere. I'm saying he's
Nah.
literally taking those nerds that are like, oh, MJF is totally going. And he's like, oh, yeah, here we go. And he's the dude with the big old hat. He's got a couple beers on the side right here, and he's like half asleep, waiting for them to bite. And they bit last night, so he's in there doing this real fast. But it's fantastic.
It
It's
is.
fantastic. Why? Because he makes you want to hate him even more. He used to not. He didn't do much to make you hate him. He was just him, and you hated him. Now he's doing all kinds of shit, and you really hate him, and that's
Yeah.
fucking great.
And of course, he was taking shots at the E-Drones. He was taking
Yep.
shots at the AEW Faithful. He was taking
Yep.
shots at many shots at TK.
Called us uneducated marks. He did,
He
and
said, "We don't
I
know
told
shit."
I told him, I said, I will let you know that I am a high school equivalent partner.
But he was right though. I mean, obviously we don't know shit because there was so many rumors flying around this past weekend. Personally, I wasn't convinced either way. I was letting it play out, as the old saying goes. Um, but yeah, he ain't going nowhere. If that was all, if he was letting off some steam, they wouldn't have let him go. What was it, 10 minutes, 15 on a promo,
Yeah,
spouting
at
all
least
kind
like
of
what
home
about like 12
truths.
minutes, like right in the middle.
Like
But yeah, no,
he
that was the crazy part. That was the reality, is the fact that they just let him go.
in many ways, I do compare it to the pipe bomb because again, that was Punk's real feelings and pent up frustration that they let him put into a microphone. And if MJF
Exactly.
does feel a lot of that way, then it came across very real.
Oh,
I like to
yeah,
think
extremely.
that we're going to get this for a couple of months, and MJF beats Punk for the title. Then again, Punk would be putting him over, and again MJF would still be the only person to pin Punk, and now he's world champion.
I mean, we've talked about that scenario where you immediately beeline Wardlow into your main title picture. That's a good move.
Mm.
The TSK were getting a little talkative. Well, some late night Denny's was going down because you can never go wrong with late night Denny's. Um, and two names came up as completely underrated and out of left field guys that could be the guy that dethroned Punk. And my favorite answer, I'm not going to say most famous answer, but my favorite answer in that whole thing, and it's one I'm willing to argue all the time now, is Eddie Kingston.
Oh, I mean, he's overdue a title, any title.
That's what I'm saying. We know how that promo he had with Punk and the whole back and forth, and oh Eddie, I saw all the potential that all these guys saw, but then what happened and all this shit. You've already have a story built, and on top of that, dude, fucking Eddie is so over. The
Yeah,
fucking roof almost like again. We're in LA, so the place was loud for the Bucks. It was loud for Lucha, for Jurassic Express. It was loud for any and all the the SoCal people. But I'm telling you, bro, when he came out, wow, the fucking like first off, anytime I get there's an Eddie chant and it sounds like somehow Eddie Guerrero came back from the fucking dead, that's how you
yeah.
know somebody's over. The place was shaking.
Oh man.
Such a great night.
And on the mic, he can talk people into a room with no doors.
This is the truth. This is everything he says makes you want to listen because he comes out. He's no nonsense. He's very real. Something a lot of guys aren't, which is fine because not everybody can do it like Kingston can.
No.
But see, now that's option one. That's my personal like fan favorite. Oh, I think that'd be great. Oh, you're going to completely give an indie guy the ultimate shot. And then the other one is the guy that everybody's complaining isn't doing anything or isn't doing enough. That's Aleister Black.
Nice.
I mean, it's out of left field because everybody's thinking of the trios thing and
Yeah.
everybody thinks Julia Hart. But what if it was different? What if they actually allowed them to? Personally, I think they should be doing singles. If you're telling me guys like Brody King and Buddy Matthews ain't doing singles, then we got a problem. Okay, these are fucking talent, baby. They're talent, and putting them in singles should be important, and it should be happening more often. And because of that, I don't know why we're not, but it is what it is. But I love the idea of either one of those. I like Eddie way more, but I mean, I could definitely see them. Like, if you wanted to go a heel, Aleister Black could absolutely be your guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is Hangman coming back as a heel? Because I mean, the way that title match ended, Hangman was unraveling a little bit. He was about to hit Punk with the title because the ref was down. Um, it was very much a slow heel turn.
Yeah, yeah. And then he, I guess, put something out on Twitter, on social media, talking about, he did this for the people. He did this for AEW, and he hopes to be back soon. And it's like he hates us now. He's going
Yeah.
that's a great way to play him up as a heel. He's going to resent the fans. The AEW diehard that quote unquote had his back, the AEW diehards that he had to protect from Punk. He couldn't do it. Now, why am I protecting you? I'm going to protect myself.
I mean, when he does come back, if he comes back with Dark Order and they all turn, if Dark Order's heel again, he could take that thing to heights where Brody had it.
Oh yeah, 1,000,000%. 1,000,000.
But as far as Punk goes, we do know it. Well, it was heavily in what's the word?
Influenced. It was definitely aimed at,
Suggested that he would
suggested.
be facing Tanahashi at Forbidden Door,
Oh
the
yeah.
Ace's debut. I'm sure you popped live in attendance for that one.
I would, but first off, the reality is when you were the first guy to pop by literally just hearing the two guitar strings at the beginning of his theme. Yeah, that's how you knew what was going on. Now, and I love Tana. I love Tana. He's the ace, 8th-time IWGP Heavyweight Champ, your record setter, the whole 9 yards. If you wanted a true pop, it should have either been Naito or Okada.
I
Now
was
I say
expecting
that
Okada.
I say Naito because he's cleared. His eye surgery had gone well, and he looks like he's ready to come back. Rumor has it he's going to be there for like the Best of the Super Junior Finals pay-per-view or show, whatever. So I'm like, okay, so he's back with a quickness. Now, Okada should have been the dude. Why? Because one, he's champ, and two, well, because it's fucking Okada. You know, he's the face of New Japan. Problem is, his wife's about to have a baby.
Oh shit.
Somebody's going to be taking some serious time off soon. So I don't think he wanted to go in there and get extra banged up before this. So I personally don't see him working the Forbidden Door show, unfortunately.
That's a
It's
major blow.
it's going to be a major blow, but right now, I mean, hey, maybe I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I've been the guy to also admit when I'm wrong. But my whole gimmick is right now is who are you going to put him against? If it wasn't going to be Punk, who would Okada go against? It can't be Mox. That's not going to work. But then the idea of the goddamn wizard became an idea, Okada and Jericho, considering the fact that Jericho and Okada haven't happened.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones Jericho wanted. So I could see that one. But other than that, like I'm looking, and there's nobody with that name value enough to work with Okada. So
I
I
mean,
unfortunately think he's out.
when Tana walked out, I just assumed, okay, so we're going to be getting Punk defending the AEW title against Tana and Okada defending the IWGP title against somebody else.
See,
But
now that's why I love doing this show, because see, you're thinking outside the box. You're thinking in a way that didn't spark my brain or even the TSK's brain, which should be fucking shocking. But that's what I'm like. That's what I'm saying. It's like to have all these title matches. I fucking love it. So you know what? Sign me up for that one. But then again, I ask you, who would be decent enough or big name enough to go against him? That's not a Jericho. That's not a Moxley.
I mean, does it have to be an AEW guy? Like they could just do New Japan versus New Japan on a joint production show.
Yeah, again, when you think logically and you're not thinking like a fucking
What
booker.
what's the situation with Will Ospreay?
Oh, so it was him, Tongaloa, Tamatonga, and somebody else got pulled from the Dominion show. So I have a feeling they're all in the States. I know Will has been saying that he wants to start working with guys in AEW, and I think actually he'll want to work with Mox. In all honesty, I think him and Mox is probably going to be the one, mainly because I swear every time Mox shows up in like a GC dub or something, a couple of weeks later, here comes Osprey, and I'm like, motherfucker, where were you 2 weeks ago? But whatever. But yeah, no, I like that one. It looks like the Great Khan and Jeff Cobb could be going against whoever's tag champs.
Yeah.
So was that Jurassic Express? That could be really good. Yeah, no, it's going to be a fun show for damn sure. Now, again, it's all about fantasy booking. How do you fantasy book it?
Yeah, and one thing just hit me like this morning that I didn't really think about on Sunday. Punk's gonna be walking into that show in Chicago as world champion.
That was the point I kept trying to make. That was the point I kept trying to make, and that's why I kept saying if you're going to do it, it's going to be title to title, champ and champ. But again, they could obviously go a different route where you have an actual meaningful IWGP title match on that show, which would be great. Or you could just have Okada in a nice fantasy match. That's the perk about this show, is you could go serious or you can go fantasy.
Yeah, I mean, Punk and Tanahashi is very much a fantasy match.
Oh
We've
yeah,
always called Tanahashi New Japan's John Cena.
the ace of New Japan.
Punk's obviously never faced him. It's probably a dream match for Punk. Punk probably loves him.
I mean,
I wouldn't be
Punk's in
surprised
it
if
last
Punk
night.
asked for this match.
Yeah, right. I was just gonna say, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he asked. But no, you're right. I mean, Punk was out there on the mic, New Japan this, New Japan that, Forbidden Door, show me what you got. He played it up well. And when Tana came out, the fucking place went bananas. Now I can't
Mm,
I can't say I didn't pop as hard as I wanted to, because the reality is I saw fucking Tana at an outdoor show at a New Japan. So to me, I'm like, I've seen you. But I'm also, I will admit I still did pop though. But
yeah,
it's still it was lackluster. But then again, when you talk to an Okada guy about a possible Okada sighting,
I think that's the only reason it was kind of underwhelming for some people. But like, if you expect Okada and then you get Tanahashi,
it's like getting a B plus on your test, knowing that you thought you got an A. And
yeah.
you're not mad, but you're just like, what in the hell did I get wrong?
No disrespect to Tanahashi, but I think more casual fans kind of know who Okada is.
It's all thanks to Kenny.
Yeah. We also got the announcement that Blood and Guts, or William Regal did the thing, is coming June
He
29th.
did the thing. He's all blood and guts. It didn't sound cool though.
Yeah, it
I
didn't
thought
quite sound as cool as War Games, but it's still, you wanted William Regal to shout Blood and Guts, you got it.
you got it, folks. It
Um,
works.
so it's going to be Jericho Appreciation Society, the Sports Entertainers,
Sports entertainment.
against, so far, Mox and Kingston.
Hey, Mox and King. First off, that's how you already know it's going to be gnarly, nasty, bloody, and beat down.
Yeah, I don't think we need any more people. Just those
I
two will do.
I really think what will end up happening is you'll probably throw Santana and Ortiz in there with them.
Mm.
I think that'll be a good move. I personally say just basically do like a fucking, the same set of 5, but in the blood and guts.
Yeah. So obviously, we're going to get Mox and Brian.
Oh yeah, gotta have them two crazy fucks.
And Miro returned.
Oh yeah.
And surprisingly, it wasn't a squash match against
No,
Johnny Elite.
no, and I think they're gonna play that up to him disowning his god,
Yeah.
as he was saying. Which I was like, first off, that's the best way to come back. And I will say this, and I hope you know what, that's probably the problem. I'm gonna have to grab this now. That's probably the problem. I don't know how many casuals were gonna watch this show, but when last night when we're sitting there, we had some serious marks, or I don't know what the fuck behind us, and it was just like the fucking chatter, the
Yeah.
fucking chatter. Who's that? I don't know who that is. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you? I don't. How many bearded giant guys does AEW have that are bald, that are also Bulgarian and sound like a Mlaska Musev? Come on now, fucking
They don't know
Jesus.
Miro.
I mean, I will give them a little bit of credit. Our panel that we got to watch the screen on was basically like a projector screen, but we saw everything in reverse.
Wow.
So But I mean, again, it's fucking Miro. I mean,
You know,
you can tell
Miro,
me.
Rusev's older brother.
I was, yeah, Rusev's older brother. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that was great. But that's what it was. It was just like, oh well, but Miro, I don't know. Oh, it's Miro. Like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Good for him. I'm absolutely glad he's back. Push the man.
Yeah.
Push the man.
Don't feed him to Punk though. Like,
No, that's okay. And again, another one. Thank you for bringing that up. Teddy thought it would be a better idea for him to go after Punk. And I said, the first person to go against Punk is going to lose. You never do it to anybody you want to push. Oh, well, no. You don't ever want to do it to somebody you want to push. Right now, and that's when we got in their whole conversation of who could be the dude to beat Punk. But again, I don't see that happening for at least until December, November, whatever pay-per-view comes out at that time.
Full Gear, I think, is the end of the year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, a few other things from Double or Nothing. Travis was right. The It couple both won the Owen Hart matches. Love those belts.
Belts are gorgeous. People giving them a lot of heat for winning. Oh, the wrong people won. All the wrong people this. I will admit that I thought that the wrong people won. I thought from the jump it should have been Darby Allin for the men, and it should have been either Chris Statlander or Ruby Soho for the women. But I mean, when you book yourself into a corner, and that's what TK did, you left yourself Joe and Adam Cole. You knew Adam Cole was going to have to win because I think personally, I think the reasoning behind it is that everybody felt Joe was going to be fucked with by either Satnam Singh or somebody from the Undisputed Elite. So we kind of all had that feeling that it was going to be Cole no matter what. As for Britt, we all kept seeing her in the tournament. Okay, well, who's going to be the one to beat her in the first round? Who's going to be the one to beat her in the second round? And she just kept going. And I'm sitting here like, why? You could have built Jamie Hayter. You could have built Tony Storm better. You could have built Ruby Soho. And it's no disrespect to Britt. But when you have an established star, you need to use that star power to create other stars, not say, cool, you're shining, go shine up that room. Nuh-uh. Teach her how to shine and you go shine that room. That's what you need to do. But it is what it is. As my wife says, it's in the past and we can't change it.
Ah, yes, the past can hurt. Yeah, Britt very much didn't need it, but I mean, I like the visual of both her and Adam Cole standing there with their belts and the trophy and everything.
Especially with Skiabone all up in Britt's Kool-Aid, and Cole's like, if you don't get the fuck out of here.
But like I said, I think the pay-per-view was it was too long.
Yeah,
it was gone 5:30 in the morning before it finished in the UK. At least 3 matches I don't think needed to be on the pay-per-view. They could have been on a Dynamite or a Rampage. The TBS title didn't need to be on the show, but of course it led to Athena's debut.
So it worked.
Yeah. I don't want to say the 6-man didn't need to be on the pay-per-view because again we got that big pop for Julia and it was a good match.
It was excellent.
O'Reilly. That match didn't need to be on the pay-per-view.
It really didn't. It was very impromptu, but I got to tell you, that was probably one of the better ones all night. And that's the problem. Every argument we've had for the match that didn't need to be here, that match didn't need to be there. But
they were a good match.
That's the problem.
I think he does this every year. He makes Double or Nothing longer, literally Double or Nothing longer than the other pay-per-views. But if you're going to do that,
he was saying in the press conferences that he gauges the audience. If the audience felt this was too long, he'll cut it shorter. So I hope that you heard us all. And bro, I'm telling you, 4 hours is the max, Jack. Yeah. If I'm falling asleep, and now granted I blame the Jaliscos on that one, but if I was falling asleep towards the main, there's a problem.
Yeah, if you're going to keep overstacking Double or Nothing, make it 2 nights.
It is your biggest night. It is your biggest pay-per-view. Trust me. And then as good as AEW wrestling is, nobody would fault you for 2 nights.
No, like AEW type of fans or New Japan fans, Ring of Honor fans, they like 2 nights.
You want to give us multiple nights of excellent wrestling? Shit. Why didn't you say something sooner? You know what I mean?
We'll go back to back rather than staying up for 5 hours.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think, though, one of my favorite visuals from the whole night was Kingston walking back down the ramp covered in blood carrying a petrol can.
That visual will haunt me forever. But it was excellent. It was excellent. Yeah. It was the storytelling behind it and everything like that was just fucking great. And then Jericho brought it up. They brought it up at the show last night. The whole, oh goddamn, Eddie Kingston's a crazy bastard trying to light us all on fire and all this other shit. It's fucking great. I love Eddie. I'm telling you, I love Eddie Kingston. I'm loving everything he's doing. This is just it's great stuff. Great stuff. Just that fucking Eddie boy.
Honestly, Anarchy in the Arena exceeded my expectations. I knew it was going to be wild, but that shit was nuts.
That shit was nuts. 1,000% exceeded my expectations.
The only thing I wasn't really hot about was Wild Thing on a loop. Like, it was funny for a couple of minutes, but then they kept playing it and kept playing it.
That was the point, though. That was the whole. Well, the whole thing led to the spot where Jericho fucked up the box.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was. I'm not gonna lie. I loved that. It felt like a New Jack match. It felt like you're there literally for the entertainment factor. Now it's no longer about sports or wrestling. Now we're here to be entertained, and that's what it was to me. And I loved it. I personally loved it. When Jericho got all mad, though, that was like, he's like, I got it off. Got the tab music. I was like, you are a fucker. And I said so, and I said it on here. I've said it in the TSK. I said, goddamn Jericho makes LA stop singing his fucking theme. I said, I'll never go to a Fozzy concert in my entire life. Well, guess what, Jack? I'm never going to a Fozzy concert in my entire. And I kept yelling at too. I was like, Fozzy sucks. And then that's what he was saying too. He's all, yeah, Fozzy will never play at LA Forum. I'm like, yeah. Oh, it's great.
And we're never going to get to sing along to the whole song again.
Nope. You're always going to be cut off from here on out. Probably until like next year when he randomly goes face again.
Yeah, or if he wants to go really heel, just change your theme completely.
I've been saying it's time to do it. It's literally have the whole thing start out and then have like a record scratch and then play your new thing. Literally get the crowd going just to shut him up.
That'd be great.
It would be. And Jericho could be the guy to make that happen.
Cause I'm sick of getting empathetic going south. I'm sick of never being able to cross the line. I'm sick of pretending everything is fine. You got it, you're just a freak like me.
Yeah. We persevere. You know I be the last man out. So what you talk about? You wanna go bout for bout.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sugar Lips McGee.
I am the here and now. I've created a lot of moments and memories on this show, but the moments and memories that I've had are the moments and memories that are yet to be created. And all you have to do is step outside your door.
We have to predict Hell in a Cell.
Oh, fucking shit.
The other pay-per-view this month, which we know is probably going to be shorter, thankfully.
When you know the TSK don't give a shit about the E stuff, boy, we were asking, well, what are we doing this weekend? Oh, is there a pay-per-view? There's a what? That was the response.
There was a pay-per-view in Chicago, and nobody gives a shit.
Nope. Nobody gives.
I'm looking. There's 6 matches. Only one of them is a Hell in a Cell match. The WWE title isn't on the line.
So why theme the show?
Yeah, why is Hell in a Cell still a thing? Just keep the match as a special, a match type. We don't need a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, back in the Ruthless Aggression era, you used to pop when somebody announced a Hell in a Cell match because you didn't really expect it. But now you know it's going to be at this time of year, every year.
Like
And
clockwork, baby.
a lot of the time, the match doesn't need to be a Hell in a Cell match. I mean, I don't really disagree with it this year because it's the blow-off match to a feud that's been going on since WrestleMania, but we'll get to that. So let's kick it off with Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens.
Oh God, I hate this whole thing. I do. I hate it with a passion. But I mean, Kevin loves it, so I can't be mad at him for that. I'm a sucker. I'm gonna go with Kevin. I've been seeing Elias get wins with like tag teams and all this other bullshit. So time for some goddamn comeuppance, maybe, hopefully.
Mm. So that's 1 for Ezekiel. And actually, that's 2 for Ezekiel because, yeah, that's my pick too.
Yeah. What else are you gonna do?
Wouldn't it be funny, though, if you walked out as Elias?
Just to piss Kevin off. Oh, what is that goddamn fake beard? I can already see that. You know what? Make it happen.
Yeah.
I need to see the fake beard. What's the budget look like, VK?
Oh, we blew the budget on Cody's pyro. Well, actually, no, we didn't because his pyro sucks now.
Pyro sucks. You know that joke? I always used to make this joke. I think I've told you guys this joke too. I said the greatest thing about AEW and Cody's pyro is WCW lives through that pyro. Not anymore, don't.
Oh, by the way, I love the new stage for Dynamite. Like, it's pretty similar, but you can tell it's new.
Yeah, you could no, yeah, we definitely were saying the same thing when we were looking at it last night. We're like, is that different? Yeah, it's a little dead. I like it. It looks a lot the same, but it is more expanded. It's wider.
I think the biggest difference was the Tron stretches behind the tunnels, and you can see it through the tunnels. And they got rid of the little chandelier thing.
Yeah, that fucking chandelier thing would piss me off.
I think that was Cody's thing.
Well,
all right.
They gave up Cody's entrance to Jade, so
yeah,
now she gets to come out the middle.
We got a 2-on-1 handicap match: Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP. I don't even know what the score is. I know Omos won at WrestleMania. I think he also won at Backlash. But I think Lashley accidentally got one back in a cage match on Raw when Omos threw him out the cage because he must have forgot the rules of a cage match.
It happens.
So I see Lashley getting another one back, tying him up at 2-2.
I could definitely see that. Problem. I don't like that though. But I don't. There's a lot of things I don't like about the fucking E. Yeah, give me Lashley to win one back, just so they can keep this thing going.
Yeah. What else we got? Fury is defending the U.S. title against Mustafa Ali.
Bro, what in the hell are they putting in the water over there for Mustafa? He got big.
Yeah.
Like
all because he wanted to leave.
That's the one thing I've been noticing when guys want to leave, they turn around and get huge.
Yeah.
And then Vince can't say no. I want Mustafa to win it. I do. I'm already sick of Austin Theory, but then again, that's kind of the point, isn't it? To be sick and tired
Vince
of that
isn't.
guy? No, that's his new love child. Yeah, give me Austin Theory to retain.
If Theory was around in 2009, I think it was, Theory would be Vince's bastard child.
Yeah, he would be. That he would be.
Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan versus the Judgment Day.
The color purple.
Yeah, House of Purple.
House
It's
of
a
Purple.
tough one because obviously Judgment Day are a new faction. Edge is still building them up. But then you got a great team in AJ, Finn, and Liv,
Yeah.
who all have beef with the other three.
Yeah, it's got to be the House of Purple though. You can't add somebody and then throw them in a match and expect them to lose real fast, unless that is your fucking goddamn Paige Van Zant,
Oh,
who was hot garbage by the way, who swears pro wrestling is going to be her thing. Well, you know what? Maybe within the next like 6 or 7 years, you can't train for 4 weeks and expect to know this company, to know this business.
oh, that was another match that didn't need to be on the pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't defend that one.
Nope, and I won't. I love Sammy, but I won't.
Um, so that brings us to a triple threat match for the Raw Women's title. Bianca Belair defending against Asuka and Becky Lynch. Obviously, it's not Naomi now. I don't really see a title change though. I mean, I thought Asuka was just going to feud with Becky Lynch, but obviously they got thrown into this title match because of Naomi and Sasha Gate.
Yeah, that's true. God, I'm such a sucker for Asuka winning. But then again, we're talking about big money Bex. Yeah, give me Becky Lynch.
Hmm. All right, going for title, going back to Becky.
Mm-hmm.
Bold, that's bold.
Hot potato stuff, baby. Hot potatoes.
So undoubtedly the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins, Hell in a Cell match. The only Hell in a Cell match of the night.
I need anybody on commentary, whether it's Pat McAfee or even Michael Cole. The next time anybody says Seth frickin' Rollins, I need him to do it like Ben Stiller from Dodgeball. Seth frickin' Rollins. Real frickin' Rollins, you know, I need that. I hate this fucking feud. Um,
I haven't actually seen it though, but I've seen some quotes from the promo battle they had this past week, and that was pretty good. Seth breaking the fourth wall a little bit.
oh yeah. Well, that's not surprising. Fucking Seth, god damn you, you suck. As much as I want to say, just let Cody keep beating him and beating him and beating him, it's going to get real old and real tired real fucking fast.
Mm.
So my recommendation is let Seth win because I'm sure they're going to spin it into another match anyway. So you might as well give him a fucking out. But if not, you know, if Cody wins it and they could just end that feud, that'd be fantastic. But something tells me they go like a 5 match minimum.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I like to think that the feud's not going to go any further than this match mainly because it's a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
Can we stop extending feuds past a Hell in a Cell match?
They said no.
Looking at the card though, I mean, like I said, we've only got one Cell match. I don't really know why the women's title match isn't in a Hell in a Cell. It would certainly add to it.
Yeah. That's the thing. Why are we doing like every title match in the cell then at least?
Yeah, I
Isn't that
mean,
that was the point of this pay-per-view?
the only title matches we've got on the show is the women's title match and the US title match. Obviously, Roman ain't working this pay per view.
Nope.
Well, sorry, premium live event.
It's out of my contract status, boy.
All right, so final call on the Cell match.
Give me Seth.
Right, and we're gonna go opposite on this one too. I'm going Cody.
Hey, you know what? I hope for your answer strictly for the fact that I'm sick and tired of seeing this.
That and because obviously he's WWE's new golden boy.
Oh my god, dude! So talk about the new shiny toy mentality. Fucking hell, so annoying.
Yeah, it got old very quickly.
Well, considering he's the same. That's the thing that makes it so much worse. Is these guys were all Cody this and Cody that, and he sucks, and oh, when are you getting Stardust back, and all this bullshit. And what does this guy do? He goes over there to the E, and he's literally the same guy. The same theme that, if you listen to the lyrics, is shitting on the E. The same fucking gear that he wore when he faced I was about to say Anthony Tony Deppen. No, not Tony Deppen. When Anthony Ogogo, this guy screams the other wrestling channel, the other wrestling show. But yeah, you motherfuckers are eating that bowl of cereal like it's going out of style. Ridiculous.
Yeah. So outside of this pay-per-view and AEW stuff, Jeff Jarrett was brought back to WWE this week as a producer. So we expect him to be world champion in a couple of weeks.
Not only am I expecting a world championship reign, I'm expecting tortillas to be thrown in every crowd on the West Coast.
It's not really unexpected. He's been very much a WWE guy ever since they inducted him into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah. That was huge for him.
Very much like Eric Bischoff.
Problem with Eric Bischoff is once he got that recognition, now he thought he could start saying all kinds of bullshit all the time, thinking people would take him seriously. Motherfucker, you are stupid. Like, the fact that you're out here trying to have Twitter beef with CM Punk because you think he's not a ratings draw, when the reality is he draws money just fine.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that whole concept.
As we said, 1.2 million for Double or Nothing on the gate.
Again, and does anybody know what Punk makes?
No. Well, apparently we know it's more than MJF.
Well, it ain't more than Moxley. Moxley makes the most. He makes $4 million a year. So
See,
I
didn't think it was more than 4 million.
So then there's no money loss. There's none. Like, that's the fucking problem. It's Eric Bischoff wants to look at the big picture. The problem is he's looking at the big picture after the fact.
And
if he would have looked at it as how much were we making, and then Punk shows up, oh goddamn, okay, yeah,
Bischoff's in
right there.
Bischoff's in no position to talk about losing money.
Oh yeah, I was like, motherfucker, didn't you sign Kiss to do concerts in the middle of your fucking nitros to make not only not make any money but to lose fans in the process?
WCW 2000 was wild.
Like, shut up, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, I love WCW. I will always show love for my origins, but when it was bad, it was fucking bad.
And final bit of news, Mr. All Champions Matt Cardona. He's probably gonna have to drop a few titles because he's getting surgery for a torn bicep.
Fucking shit, does that suck, man?
Especially with the role he's been on.
Yeah, what a fucking tear. He's been so good everywhere. GC Dub, Impact, and everywhere in between. I've been dying for him to come to AEW, but it is what it is. A torn bicep is not a tremendously terrible injury, but it's not a quick recovery one.
No.
So unfortunately, yeah, it sucks. He's going to be out for a while, but something tells me his momentum's going to follow him. When he comes back, he's going to be fucking red hot again.
Yeah. Wherever he goes back first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many titles he got? Like 10?
I'm really trying to count them in my head right now. I swear to God, I am. I want to say you're right. I want to say it's either 9 or 10.
Jeez.
But now, granted, I think I'm counting that 9 after he lost the digital media title or whatever.
Oh yeah, that stupid thing.
Yeah, I think it's garbage.
Actually, I lied. There is one final bit of news. The WES West show
postponed
in the UK got cancelled, postponed, whatever.
Oh, they cancel it or they postpone it?
Well, Chelsea Green said it was cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't really read much else about it other than it's not happening. But apparently the blame is on it's Jubilee weekend. Oh wait, it's been delayed until July 9th.
Okay.
But yeah,
I was like, they were hyped for this show. They just up and canceled it then, huh? But no, okay, good. That's gonna be an interesting show.
As we said, main evented by formerly known as Braun Strowman and Overeem.
Alistair Overeem.
One of those two is going to be their first world champion.
Wow. Isn't that crazy? Alistair fucking Overeem.
Also, Deonna Purrazzo was apparently scheduled for the original show, but she tweeted out that she can't make the postponed July date. She's obviously booked for Impact or whatever.
Oh yeah, I'm sure her contract obligations are through the roof.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that's a blow. I mean, I'm mainly disappointed for the former Authors of Pain because I think they're more involved in it than anybody else.
Yeah, it's their promotion from what I'm reading. And it's like I said, we had that whole speculation if they were coming back to wrestling, and we figured that they were going to be a team, Impact, AEW, New Japan. We just would have figured out where they were going to go. When the idea of a fucking promotion came in, you were like, huh? And now it's having its rocky moments. But again, more power to them. I hope it works out. I really do.
Yeah. I mean,
not buy it, but I hope it works out.
I'm not entirely sure why the the Motor Point Arena agreed with the show on this particular date in the first place. We all knew what weekend it was. It's a big holiday weekend, which begins today. It's a 4-day weekend. I've never known a Thursday to be a holiday before.
Right.
Like a bank holiday.
One that's worth a damn.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's news. So, am I right in thinking we're scrapping A to B of NXT?
Yeah, we're scrapping A to B to NXT. The NXT watch is not where the movement is anymore. So what I've decided to the few and far fans in between that have been like, well, it's kind of like my favorite thing. Your boy's got something for you. So ready for the little drum roll, even though I can't be super loud in this lovely echoey room. As of tomorrow, Friday, the 3rd, I am done with my finals, and I will be out of school until August. So, as much as we tried it, and now she's coming to fruition as hard as we can. Drops Monday as a 2-episode special for the retro. So starting next Wednesday, we are going to be doing the A to B to the retro rewind. I know it doesn't work as well, but I like it. I think it's going to be a fun thing. I thought to myself, if I'm going to be bitching about a show that I had to force myself to watch, it might as well be something with some goddamn entertainment. And the last thing I was watching that was not AEW or New Japan that was entertaining was all the retro stuff. So yeah, WCW and Monday Night Raws from the fucking mid-90s are coming back, Jack. And yes, the A to Z from the Retro will include a Retro Geek of the Week and a Retro Wrestler of the Week.
Right.
Now, I will also admit, though, if there's a fucking Retro Geek that's so huge, he will take over the whole geek segment. I will tell you that. So, Nick Patrick, I hope you got your fucking button down ready, partner.
So that's all coming soon. Also coming soon, well, Trivia Takeover was absolutely wild last week.
Fuck yeah, it was. It was good.
We have one more event stop before Promo Slam. It's usually Trivia Takeover straight to Promo Slam, but of course there's a stopgap this year. It's the first ever Fight for the Knowledge on July 16th. It will feature an old-school free-for-all for the Knowledge Championship with several rounds of trivia, including Mystery Superstar, Bell to Bell, Name the Card, more classic rounds. Travis Anderson made history last week when he finally won the Knowledge Championship and the TV title in the same night. Well, the TV title will also be on the line as Travis defends against the winner of the first Ring of Games trophy, which begins. Weekly Ring of Games tournaments begin on June 16th.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 16th? It's 4 weeks before anyway. We don't actually know if AEW are doing Fight for the Fallen this year, but if they are, we'll be predicting that too.
I think they are, but yeah, heaven forbid.
And we know they're doing Road Rager, they just announced that.
Yeah, Road Rager. But they also
which I-
wanted to do that, I guess, because it's like a big TV thing.
Yeah. So for more information, go to maxwrestling.net/fight.
Yeah.
So, no
Nice,
HB
easy
of
one to
NXT,
remember.
but let's get the geek of the week. Hit the music, Jack.
Pencil neck geek, grit-eating freak, scum-sucking peahead with a lousy physique. He's a one-man, no-cut, losing streak. Nothing but a pencil neck geek.
Pencil neck
All right, so here we go. This is gonna be a little off the wall geek of the week. He didn't do nothing too crazy, nothing bananas, none of that stuff. No, it's not MJF, it's not TK, it's not Wardlow. It's that son of a bitch, Chris Jericho, that wizard fucker. That don't you ever tell me not to sing your theme again in fucking LA, goddammit. You're in LA. You go and tell some motherfuckers in the Los Angeles to not sing your shit in Los Angeles. Like, bro, you about to have about all the gangbangers in LA come right at your door, homie, singing your shit right to your face. I tell you what. But no, it's gotta be Chris. You know, you're a geek when you get your hair cut and you're so angry about it that you yell at Ortiz as if it was a question. You cut my hair? Well, yeah, that's what he did. Like that was the thing that I was laughing so hard last night when he did that. He, as much as everybody was loving that back and forth promo, like when Jericho's like you cut my hair. He did. It was the way he was like upward inflection. It was hilarious. So because of that, Jericho, you're an absolute geek for this week.
Fair enough, I think. So for the best of the week, music. Very easy for the first two. In fact, I'm going to do them together. Wrestler of the week and moment of the week. CM Punk winning his first world title in 9 years. It felt like a huge moment. It was, other than MJF and Wardlow, it was the match I was looking forward to the most of Double or Nothing. There was a couple of botches. Mainly Punk's knee buckling on the buckshot, but I don't really think it took away from the moment. They still popped huge. And again, it felt like a huge moment. Punk is a world champion again in 2022. It's nuts.
Yes, it is nuts. 100% nuts.
As for dumbest moment of the week,
I'm sure there's a bunch.
You know what? Based on the general consensus, let's go with Paige Van Zant's AEW debut in ring. Sorry, Paige.
No, I'm not. You're bad. You're bad.
I guess we all got to start somewhere. And if you we know it's like a trial and error when you come from MMA to wrestling. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Right. It's not that easy transition for everybody.
I mean, hopefully she improves. AEW have a pretty good track record of when people ain't very good at something, they quickly improve. Case in point, Britt Baker, when she turned heel. Jade's a huge example.
So
hope.
With that being said, this is how Paige is going to get better. Somebody call Kenny. And somebody call
where's Kenny at?
Somebody call Kenny. Somebody call B-Dry. Get him in a room and let them work with her for a month. And I bet you she'll be money at the end of it.
Well, we heard this week, actually, Regal and Bryan show up early at every single show and have like an open door training session.
Bullshit. We were there and I didn't see a no B-Dry.
Oh, I thought they meant in the back.
Oh, well, whatever.
Like
I don't give a shit.
They got their own ring in the back or something.
Well, they put a camera back there too, assholes. Sons of bitches.
Unless they showed up really early, like before the doors opened.
Oh yeah, just all paying off guys at the forum. Hey, we need to get in here.
I
Okay.
want to see some training sessions.
They're
But
like,
if it is,
you're William Regal.
If it is true and that's the case, please go work with Regal and Bryan because you won't get much better teachers.
No, you won't. But you know what also would be hilarious if they walked into that forum and they were like, "Oh my God, you're William Regal. Can you put my toothbrush up your butt?" Thanks, man.
And in return, I will pee in your tea.
And I will pee in your tea.
I hope people get these references because otherwise it's going to sound very weird.
we're gonna sound like some good old weirdos.
I'm
It's all
hoping people
right.
are sitting at home going, I understood that reference.
If you're not laughing, we've got a problem.
Yeah. Well, your week is complete. Thank you, everybody, for spending your Thursday with us. You know where to find us at Max Wrestling UK on Twitter, at the Captain 512, and at SMRPodNet. Once again, the website maxwrestling.net. And now listen up, you pencil neck geeks, because this is what Moses has for you this week.
That's right. What's going down? So check this out. So the vlog, I was gonna do a vlog for AEW. Fucking LA traffic was so bad. It was so bad. I showed up late, so half of the filming we were gonna do went out the drain. So the no vlog coming. It's quite unfortunate. I might be able to throw some clips up and see what I can do. Maybe make something out of what I got, but it's gonna be a rough one. But as I had stated earlier, Retro's coming back hard, heavy. Monday drops a 2 episode show, which is going to be nice. It's going to be nice for me to be able to sit down and enjoy something like that. And on top of that, should be nice for the fans so they can sit back and enjoy some Retro. Bolt Rant has been taking a break mainly because I don't like to talk about stuff when they're not in pads. So it's on not necessarily a hiatus, but OTAs does start in July. So come July, I expect Bolt Rant to really truly ramp up. I am trying to finish one episode that is basically just me going over all the question marks that we still have and any free agency or any offseason moves. And then then that'll probably be it until July for Bolt Rant. But no, Retro will be coming hot and heavy for a minute. And then of course we got the A to B to the Retro Week. So
Yeah. And about the 4th episode of Open Road, it's taking a little bit longer. I also said I was going to put dash cam footage in. What I didn't know was that apparently when you run out of space, the dash cam automatically starts deleting the older videos. So we don't have a whole lot of dash cam footage for this episode, which will be coming soon. It's just a little bit delayed. I think we do have some dash cam footage for the later parts of the journey to and from the Basics Pro Wrestling show that Chad and I went to. So there will be some Open Road coming soon. It's in the editing process.
In the process. Well, I'll say what you need is a big old 1 terabyte SD card.
Yeah, I mean, it starts recording every time I start the engine up, and most of the time there's no reason to record anything. So I just need to keep better track of the storage.
It's out of precaution, bud. Heaven forbid you get an accident day.
Yeah, I just need to move this stuff over when it's something I actually need instead of waiting for it to be deleted.
Right.
But now I know that it auto deletes. I'll keep a better eye on it.
It's like right now I got to do some work.
Yeah. Also, I'm sure you noticed new graphics this week. There will be a brand new intro video accompanying it next week. I just didn't have time to make it this week.
I'm about to say busy man.
Yeah. So with that said, join us next week for new intro. Reactions, if any, to Heck in a Cell.
Heck in the Cage. Like it.
And you have been watching the Gaffer Mo. Goodbye and good night. Bye.
That's fucking right. Goddamn Danny Garcia, teach everybody in AEW how to do a fucking sharpshooter, son of a bitch.
And follow it up with a mega pint of wine.
Mega pint.